The latest so-called bathroom bill is headed to the governor's desk. It would criminalize people who knowingly enter the bathroom that does not align with their sex assigned at birth. It was a lengthy and at times very emotional debate today before the Senate did pass that bill, HB 752. Now, it's not just bathrooms we're talking about here. The legislation includes changing rooms, locker rooms, and shower rooms. If there's a repeat offense, it becomes a felony and could be punishable by up to 5 years in prison. There are some exceptions, including if there is only a single-sex bathroom available, if a person is helping someone who requires medical assistance, if there is dire need to use the restroom, or when a parent or family member is helping out a child. Senator Jim Woodward said the bill's origins come from an incident at the Sandpoint YMCA last summer. A male was reportedly in the female locker room where the local high school swim teams change. He said this sparked a town-wide conversation.
And what I learned in that conversation and what I see in this bill is the term public accommodation. And I believe that placing this requirement on a public accommodation, I think this is a foray into new territory. And I'm cautious about that. Just as a few years back, and I think my earlier years here in the Senate, that I didn't know the term a private right of action, but that's become routine in our legislation. And so I wonder, with the idea of a public accommodation, what comes next and how much further do we venture inside of a private building? Now, I don't support the punitive measures in this bill, but the policy does reflect the sentiment of my community. And so for that reason, I will support it. It is the best for the most.
Now, supporters say it's about protecting women and kids from grown men in intimate spaces. One of the bill's sponsors, Ben Taves, says this would not target people who mistakenly use a different restroom than they meant to.
Sometimes it feels like we're not even talking about the same subject, because the majority of what or actually all of what we're trying to solve here is not targeting any one group of people or any one person. It's dealing with sexual predators and very real issues.
But those against the bill questioned how realistic it is to even enforce this, and that it will accomplish the real unstated goal to just target and harm people who are transgender.
We just say to trans people, unless you are in dire need, and these are the words from the statute, of defecating or urinating, stay out. Figure out some other way. This isn't how we treat people in our society.
And yet it did pass 28-7, and again is now headed to the governor's desk.